Greenlights by Matthew McConaughey, book summary. Let's do it. You may know him as the wedding planner and How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days rom-com, Beach Dude, Dallas Buyers Club, Interstellar, Academy Award winner. That's right, it's Mr. All right, Matthew McConaughey. He's done film and television. Now he's in books, his own to be exact. Greenlight is the name and an approach book is the game. That's how he describes it, at least. It's not fully a memoir or a preach book, but reflections on the adventures of McConaughey's 50-plus year life. Here are the 5 ideas from Greenlights. Big idea number 1, see the Greenlights. Matthew loves the driving analogy, and to him, green lights are the things he continually focuses on. It's perspective. Green means go, continuation for the journey, and he asks all of us how we could see more green lights in our own lives. When we're forced to stop at an amber, what can we learn from the stillness? Faced with the red, we must either persist, pivot, or see an alternative perspective to make it green. Big idea number 2, retreat and rest. Samuel L. Jackson, Sandra Bullock, Ashley Judd, Kiefer Sutherland all decided to do a movie called A Time to Kill. The year, 1996. Matthew so happened to be front and center. Boom, his star power exploded overnight. The week before, barely anyone even acknowledged him. The following week, everything just flipped. He was insta-famous. Everyone knew everything about him, and the same scripts that he once asked for were now magically available to him. What did Matthew do? What any actor would when their star level is at an all-time high. Escape to the Amazon River. He took time to retreat, unplug, and rest so he could reconnect with himself. If Mr. Chiseldabs could take some time for himself during one of his peaks, we could all do the same. Big idea number 3, discover dislikes. Matthew was at the University of Texas studying law. He wasn't sleeping well, and after a little bit of reflection, he realized that he wasn't having any fun anymore. For him, waiting nearly a decade with school and finding a lawyer gig to make a dent in the world was taking forever, and the fire was dying out. He loved to write, and after speaking to a few friends and showing them a few pieces, they encouraged him to go to film school. So Matthew's curiosity took over, and he wanted to run this by old man McConaughey. Expecting his pops to blow a gasket, he just said, "Don't half-ass it." The rest is history. Isn't that an interesting punchline though? He walked away from studying law, and his breakout role in A Time to Kill was playing a lawyer. What a life! Being self-aware of what we don't like and then leaning into things we're interested in could pay dividends. Big idea numero 4, be less impressed. After Matthew's father passed, he reflected greatly on the values that were instilled in him and ensures he continues to act on those values to this day. One of which is to be less impressed, meaning set your ego aside and become more involved. I love this next line. Generally, everything that you look up to, or even things that you look down upon, should all be at eye level. The sooner we become less impressed with ourselves and everything in our lives, the sooner we can get more involved and get better. Matthew briefly touched on a few of these points in his 2014 Oscar speech for Best Actor. It's a cool viewing. keep on chasing. Last big idea, have no hard feelings. They'll pick you up in a limo and you might have to catch a cab home. Matthew's take on Hollywood and how tough it could be if you take it personally. He had a great example during his gig on
Rain of Fire.
The situation was that he was slightly losing his hair, and he heard that if you shave it right off, it would regrow thicker and fuller. A studio exec heard about it and told Matthew in writing that it was a tragedy, a major misstep, and an act that may bring you very bad karma. Matt didn't take well to the threat. However, he didn't take it personally and got crafty instead. So he got a tan and with a nice suit, went to a Hollywood party where he knew word of mouth would get back to the exec. Rather than take my word for it, let's dig it up here. Damn you, McConaughey, you looking good. He did his thing at the party and everyone gave him a lot of praise for his new look. The exec heard and was pretty much cooing Matthew all the way to the box office. Matthew could have threw his toys around and lay down some verbal firestorm on the studio exec about how it's his head and he can do whatever he wants to it. This would have only stoked the fire and definitely would have ended badly. Instead, he set his feelings and ego aside to focus on the possible solutions. Greenlight. And now a recap of the 5 big ideas. Big idea number 1, see the green lights. Big idea number 2, retreat and rest. Big idea number 3, discover dislikes. Big idea number 4, be less impressed. Big idea number 5, have no hard feelings. That's Matthew McConaughey's Greenlights. If you read the book, which McConaughey story did you enjoy the most? And what were your key learnings? If you haven't read it, what things are you hoping to get out of it? What can we tell you so that you'd want to know if it's worth picking up? Sound off in the comments below. Appreciate you stopping by. My name is Truman, and if you found this video helpful, I accept with a lot of gratitude likes, subscribes, and checks off those notification bells. Apart from that, I'll see you in the next video.